Hey, my forest classroom friends. It was not very long ago that we met a salamander, a red-spotted newt. Some people call it an eastern newt. It's a kind of salamander, and we met it at a pond. And tonight, we're meeting another kind of salamander. I'm gonna give you some hints about this one, see if you can guess who it is. It's the same kind of animal, because they're both salamanders, but it's a lot bigger. And you don't usually find them in the water, but when you do find them is at nighttime, in the spring, the first warm, wet night of spring, like tonight is, and they come out and they cross the road from where they've been spending the winter in the woods, and they go to the other side of the road where maybe their vernal pool is, where they were born, and they're gonna go back there and lay eggs. So there's one crossing the road right now, so I'm gonna scooch over here to catch it for you and help it get across the road. I've made sure that my hands are nice and wet and a little bit muddy. Oh, he is moving pretty slowly tonight. But we don't want him to be out in the middle of the road. So I'm gonna walk him all the way over here, off to the edge of the road, where there are a lot of leaves and sticks, and he'll feel much safer here. Look at that. Yeah, it's safe for you to go now. You can crawl right off. That hand's kind of drying out. I'm gonna get it a little bit wet again. So my forest classroom friends, this is one of 10 different species of salamanders that lives in Vermont. You already met the red-spotted newt, and here you have the yellow-spotted salamander. There's another spotted one in Vermont. It's called the blue-spotted. And then there's a bunch of others. Maybe you'll do a little bit of research on each of them. But what these friends do is they travel back to the vernal pool, which is like a pond, but it's in the middle of the woods, and it doesn't hold water all year. And it goes back there just to lay its eggs, and then it'll go back to the place in the woods where it likes to spend the rest of the year. And you see the lines of yellow spots along each side and all the way down the tail. And this one even has one on each leg. How cute is that? Same things apply to this as the other salamander we talked about. If you're going to hold them, you want to make sure that your hands are what we call clean for being in nature, which is really wet. Whoops, sorry friend. And a little bit muddy. These aren't even quite as wet as I would want. I'm gonna just dip them in the water on the side of the road, get them a little bit wetter for you, and then I'll pick them up one more time. Now this one's a little bit too big to pick up like by the tail, like we did with the red-spotted. So instead, I'm just gonna very gently slide my fingers underneath and put him right up on my hand. And when he starts to walk, I'm gonna put one hand in front of the other so that he doesn't fall off of my hands. And he is really going to town now. Let's see how he moves on the forest floor. Notice this, friends. When that yellow-spotted salamander was on the road, it was so easy to see. Those yellow spots stood out like warning lights. But here, on the forest floor, where there are lots of down leaves, it blends in really well. We would say that the spotted salamander can camouflage itself really well on a forest floor. Hey friends, so you know what I decided to do? We put that yellow-spotted salamander down just a little ways from here by the edge of the road. And I thought, hey, well, why don't I follow it and see if it does go straight to a vernal pool? So I walked through the woods, not a very long ways, and this is where I've come to. I'm hoping you're going to be able to see some of it. This is all at night, so the filming's a little tricky. But take a look over this way, and you can see this beautiful, small, it looks like a little pond in the woods. And that's what a vernal pool is. It is bigger than a puddle, but smaller than a pond. The water doesn't stay in there all year round, just in the springtime. So it's a really safe place for salamanders and frogs to lay their eggs, because there are no fish here to eat them. So, thanks for doing this extra little trip with me to find the vernal pool. I guess I am just wanting to say it was great to see you again, and I'll see you next week. Bye, friends. If you have enjoyed this video, please visit our website to learn more about what we do and consider making a donation.